Great. Just make sure that I'm audible, guys. That will be very important. Yep. Let me just see and put up. Will be great to see your name there, and also the country that you are representing. If there are new people here, right? If you are new with JDXBOT or JD Wealth Maker, we want to really welcome you because for some of you this can be the way the format of what we are doing can be a bit different, okay, than how you used to attend many other program because we are not we don't run a multi-level marketing program. So this is basically a real trading taking place in the real market. So those who are interested, they are just following all those requirements and the rules to be part of this opportunity. All right. Okay. As I mentioned, guys, please understand. I think on Tuesday, every week, right? Every week on Tuesday there is a corporate presentation whereby I share with you about JDXBOT business model, the strategies, and so on. And then on Thursday, alternate week, all right? Alternate week, I think is on the first and the third week, high likely. So we will have the AMA session. So every 2 weeks one, okay? Every fortnightly, every 2 weeks once, we will have the AMA session. So that's where users can actually, our partners can come on board and you can ask any questions and so on, okay? But please be reminded, right, that if you get into your back office, at the top of the header there is a getting started, and you also have the resource section, okay? If you look, let me just bring you to the back office. So if you look at the back office, all right, so you will see your dashboard there, right? So you will see your dashboard. This is for those of you already part of JDXBOT. So one is you see the getting started at the top, there is a FAQs, right? You can use the FAQs there. Or you can even go to the resources section here. You see that we have those FAQ there. Can you see that? So here you can actually even go and type, okay? You can go and type, example, you want to know about 2FA. So you type 2FA. Now, everything related to the 2FA will appear here. You see that? So we make things easy for you, right? So you don't have to go and read one by one here. You see that? So if you have time, I would advise you to read. So you just tap the arrow here and read every single item. But if you want to find anything fast, just put the keyword. All right, just put the keyword there. It will then bring you straight, into those FAQs, so you can actually read those FAQs, right? So like today, I think we're going to touch probably on the 27th, right? The risk management strategies. I'm going to explain to you, 27, 28, and so on. So if you have time, all right, this is great because we got, I think, total 52 FAQs. So a lot of the questions that you have probably, all right, it will be answered therein, okay? So take a look, right? And also you have the tutorial section there. Under the tutorial, you can find the getting started checkpoints, getting started guide, and also the corporate presentation. So all the latest document, you can find it either, or you can even go to the homepage. You can see over here, getting started. All right. All the documents are there. Or you can even go to the footer. If you look into the footer, the resources, all the informations are there, right? So that makes easy for, even if you are not part of JDXBOT, you can actually have access to this and you can go through, right? So we make things transparent so that it is not only exclusively for JDXBOT members. Okay, I hope that is great, right? So that would be good. So you can even, send someone to JDXBOT website for them to have a look. The only thing is that they won't be able to sign up. All right, there is no sign up button here in the homepage because at the moment it is only by invitation by our private partners. So you need, if you are invited by them or you are basically from soft launch or pre-launch, you are given the priority to migrate because we only have 300 spots, okay? Only 300 spots. Once the 300 spots is completely taken, we will no longer open JDXBOT to anyone in the public anymore, right? So we are targeting only 300 users for this phase. Okay, so just take note of that. So as I mentioned to you, we are not, since we are not an MLM, so we are not really driving membership. Okay, we are not doing that. Okay, we just want to maintain a small group and provide the best quality of the service while we continuously improving the bot performance, monitoring the market situations and so on, because that is what our user actually want, our partners actually want. So most of our partners, they want quality relationship, they want quality connections, they also want that they are given attention, right? I think that's the most important thing, right? So please take note, okay? So all those information you need is already there. So since it is an AMA session, I just want to make sure that I address this kind of information, because today is the day, right? Because it's all about technicality, right? So if you have any questions, anything related to the technicality or anything you want to know, right? Please ask, okay? Today is the day. But before you do so, I'll be presenting to you, the subject matter today. Okay, once we go through that, that will give you a clarity, of what we're going to really do. All right. Okay, guys. If you are ready, put up there in the chat room. All right, put up that in the chat room. Number one. Let's just let's get going then. All right, let's get going. Okay, great. Good to have you guys. Good to have Obong. Good to have you. Every one of you. Put up there. Put number one, guys. If you can hear me well and you are ready. All right. Let's get going. All right. Let's get going. Okay. Good. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay then. Appreciate it a lot. Okay. So as usual, right? You know the format of how I do things. I'm going to present to you first. I want you to, to watch the presentation, understand all those important insights that I'm going to share with you. And thereafter, right, we're going to open up for you to ask any questions and so on. So use the opportunity, okay, to ask as much question you would like to ask, because this is going to really help you. And also bear in mind that sometimes you may think the question is not important, but you never know how your question can add value to others. All right, so it's good to ask, okay? It's good to ask because sometimes we think that we know, right? But you don't know your question can be helpful for many other people. And also, since it is recorded, it will be great for others who are going to watch later on, to understand those questions and so on, okay? So we will get going now. So what I'm going to do today is that basically, right, I'm going to just cover these 5 items, okay? We're going to quickly look into the market. I'm not going to go detail into anything technical, but I just want to show you the macro outlook of the market, okay? Where I think the market is going to move. What can we expect, okay? What can we really expect next with the market and so on, okay? Then I'm going to explain the different types of wallets or accounts that we have in JDXBOT, because some people are still confused. Please understand, because when we migrate, right now things are different. Right now things are different. We have now integrated sub accounts and so on. So I just want to make sure these things are explained clearly. And then the most important thing about this improved algorithm is the hedging and also the dollar cost averaging. I'm going to show you the relationship between DCA and also hedging. All right, so that you will then be able to understand. So you know what to expect, okay? When we start the bot, or when your bot is actually, active, you know exactly what to expect when come to the DCA and also the hedging, all right? And then I'm going to touch about the position size. This is very, very critical for net profit. A little bit on the estimate liquidation price and the entry price. These are 3 important critical component that we are monitoring, all right? That we are monitoring to ensure that our users make as much money, and at the same time, their risks are safeguarded, okay? That is the important thing. And lastly, I want to talk a little bit about to top up your fund. I just want to advise you a few things here, so that if you are planning to top up, okay, how should you do it? What should you consider, and so on, okay? So that will be really critical. Okay. Now, before I move on, okay, with the first item, I just want to bring you guys, and let's look into the market very, very quickly, okay? So I'm going to just get into the trading view here, and I want to show you some important insight, where I think the market is going to move. Okay, now I believe that recently, right, we saw how you can see over here, right, Bitcoin were actually moving over here, right? Bitcoin were actually moving sideways. All right, Bitcoin were actually moving sideways. There was not much movement, right? There was not much movement. Can you see that? For I think it's about 8 days, right? 8 days or so, the market were moving sideways. Let me go to the daily chart. Okay, over here. So you can see here, right? Market were actually moving sideways here. All right, market were moving sideways. So everyone, right, even in JDXBOT, right, because your positions are already open, but there is inactivity. There is nothing happening, right, in the market. Okay, I'm talking about the market. The bot is still active. The bot is still doing DCAs and hedging, but there were not much movement or there's not much volatility, right? So it was stagnant. So now at this point, right, the market was completely uncertain, right? And I think this is the time we had the Good Friday, we had the Easter Sunday. So everything was quiet. And then suddenly, right, you can see over here, right, this is on Monday. When Monday starts, right, we start to see a massive pump. Now, the reason is here very simple, guys. The inactivity that we saw is mainly because of the tariff decision, right? The tariff decision, and Trump will actually basically using the tariff to threaten a lot of these countries, right? So there was no clarity. So the tariff were actually going up, and some country, they decided to retrieve back the tariff and so on. But China-wise, it went all the way to 245%. So, and China retaliated, right? They also retaliated. But then on Monday, we heard that Trump starts to soften, right? And trying to find a way how to communicate with China and so on. And then suddenly, and also at this time, right, we had, during this period, we had an issue. Trump was not happy with the Federal Reserve, right, Jerome Powell, and he says that if he has a chance, he wants to basically terminate Federal Reserve chairman, right? And the market start to collapse. Okay, market were collapsing at that time, and then on Monday, Trump softened, right? He softened and he said, that's fine. With the Jerome Powell, he will continue to do what he's doing and so on. So now, these two events actually caused confidence level, okay, to return back into the market, and then we saw a pump. Now, this pump was actually led by two big institutions. Number one is Strategy, right? MicroStrategy, they bought Bitcoin, and also the other one is Meta Planet from Japan. So the two institution is actually the one that pushes this price up. So now, please understand, okay? I am not saying that the price is going up, and my concern is that this price that is going up may not be an organic. It may be pushed by the institution. Now, if the price is being pushed by the institution, how long will it stay up? All right, at one point, the price is going to come down. So this is the scenario, because we may not see new money, or we are not able to see the retails coming in to actually buy Bitcoin, accumulate Bitcoin. All right, but nevertheless, everyone was happy, right? The price went up, and I think JDXBOT, we are also happy because happy because we have a lot of DCAs takes place, right? And that is really good, because the more DCAs take place, we can actually shift the entry price closer to the market price. And if the market price reverses like what is happening today, if this price comes down, okay, let's say below 85,000, a lot of the bots will start to close in a massive profit. Okay, now what I want to guide you and lead you is that I want you to look at some important stuff here. Okay, now if we take a look at the hourly, right? If I take a look at the hourly, and I want to bring you all the way to April 2021. Now, if you look this trend line, okay, that I've actually put, if you look, it hit the all-time high, and Bitcoin actually hit about 109, okay, 109,000. It respected the all-time high at April and also November. So if you would connect the dot, right? If you would connect the dot and you see that Bitcoin respected that all-time high, and then it came down from 109 all the way down, right, to around 74,500. Now, if you look, right, if you look at this parallel channel, okay, if you look at this parallel channel, okay, this is very important, okay. I have put a parallel channel here. Can you see that? This is a parallel channel. So these parallel channels are very important. And we saw how Bitcoin actually broke the channel and it went up, it came down, stay within the channel. It went up, it then respected the channel and came down and broke the channel down. And thereafter you can see, okay, and you can also see if I put a trend line here, can you see that? It actually respected this trend all the way, right? This trend respected this trend and then it broke this trend and it went all the way here. Can you see that? Now, if we just enlarge, right, you can see that, okay? You can see that it went here and then it is about to touch this parallel channel and it actually reverses, all right? It reverses. So if there is a possibility, right, I believe that Bitcoin, if there is a reversal that is going to take place, this parallel channel is going to be very critical, all right? It's going to be very, very critical. So we could see Bitcoin reverse. That's why I'm targeting around 97,000, right? 96, 97,000. So this could be probably a major. If Bitcoin reverse and it goes and touch this level, 97,000 probably is a major reversal. We could even see price comes down all the way, right? All the way and go below 80,000. So the next target I have is 77,000. And the other target I have is 44,000, all right? So I just want to show you, right, how Bitcoin is respecting the historical, the historical data here exactly, okay? So this is a very important information, okay, that I want you to take note, okay, to take note about Bitcoin and where can you expect. But at the moment, right, if you look at the moment on the daily time frame here, we are already basically, this is basically a reversal, right? You can see the uncertainty. This is basically a reversal candle. So now on the daily time frame, we are already seeing a red candle. The only problem, we don't have much volume. And if you look into the money flow, we are close, okay? We are very, very close to be hitting at the overbought zone. Now, if the market reverse, okay, I believe, okay, based on my understanding, if the market reverse and retest 77,000, let's say, right? Sorry, 97,000, the hourly will actually get into the overbought. Now, this is where we could see a major reversal taking place. Okay, so now if you look into 4 hours, we are already building, right? We are already, the selling already started. All right, the selling already started. And if you go and look at 1 hour, you can see that, all right, the selling already started. So that simply means that the volume, okay, is already starting to build up. So the most sales, the most selling takes place, then it starts to accumulate on the lower time frame, and then it's going to accumulate on the 4 hours time frame, and then we're going to see high likely, okay, we could see a major reversal taking place. Now, this insight is very important. When you are part of a trading, right? Example, if you are part of a JDXBOT and you have a bot running for you, and sometimes you see that your positions are still open, okay, for quite some time. I think our positions are already open for the past 12 days, if I'm not mistaken, okay, for the past 12 days. All right, for the past 12 days, right? So that could actually, that could actually, right, for some users, wow, it's 12 days, right? It's long. But that 12 days has a massive order size because of the DCAs. I think total DCAs so far already 8 DCAs. All right. So I'm going to cover that to explain to you and so on. So now we are waiting for the price to come down. So I'm expecting the price to revisit around, okay, around this level, 88,000. And if let's say, right, if let's say during this time, if there is a FUD, okay, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and the market get panic, we could see price comes down all the way, right? So this is something, even we can actually retest 79,000, go below 80,000, okay? So this is an important insight just to give you an idea what is happening with the market. Now, the other thing is that the DXY, okay? DXY is a very key component. So you can see why Bitcoin price actually went up, because at that time, the DXY or the dollar currency index is also coming down. Now, why is dollar is actually weakening? Because investors no longer have confidence to hold dollars because of the uncertainty of the tariff, and also because of the indecisiveness of Trump, leading the economic situation. Yeah? And so when the issue about Federal Reserve Chairman came, if Trump has the power to actually terminate a Federal Reserve, now that is going to put a lot of non-confident in terms of investors' confidence in U.S. economy, because that is like overriding the rule, okay? Overriding the rule where anyone can terminate anyone, right? So that is going to put a lot of non-confidence, and that actually led to selling off or liquidation of the DXY, and a lot of the money went where? A lot of the money actually went into, let me show you, right? A lot of this money actually went into, where is that? Yeah, it went into gold. Can you see that? So gold actually already hit 33,500. It's an all-time high. Okay, gold as all-time high. So now this is what happened when economic uncertainty, when investors are not confident. What do? They actually will transfer or flow the money into a safe haven. Okay, so gold and Bitcoin are considered like a safe haven, right? A safe haven. So that could be one of the reasons why we saw a quick transfer or outflow of that money into those safe haven. Okay, and I believe that gold probably people will hoard. They will hold. But Bitcoin is a little bit different because you can swap it and you can actually exchange it anytime, right? So we are just waiting, high likely, for a major sell-off here for the Bitcoin. Okay, so do take note of this information. Okay, so now this is just a quick highlight. Okay, a quick highlight just to give you an idea what is really taking place in the market. And please understand, for Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin don't really respect a lot of this technical stuff. Okay, Bitcoin don't care about resistance. Bitcoin don't care about support. If there is a news in the market, okay, that is actually driving, that is actually taking place, right? That actually drive the behavior of those people holding Bitcoin. So remember, Bitcoin is driven by those who are holding. So we got the sellers, we have the buyers. So what determines the decision of the holder? The news. So the news will actually affect the behavior of those who are holding Bitcoin. So if the news create FUD, they start to have fear, what happened? They will actually let go or sell their Bitcoin. Can you see that? So now, if let's say suddenly there is a confidence and everyone is starting to buy Bitcoin, what happened? They also start to buy, because this is what we call FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So that is what exactly that was taking place. It was a fear of missing out. The institution pushed the price up, and then the retail starts to get in to actually buy Bitcoin at the last minute. So all those people who bought at 95, 96, I believe, right, they're going to probably regret, because they came in at the end of, at the top where the price is already exhausted. And now when the market goes down, their patience will be tested, because they have to hold this Bitcoin until Bitcoin price actually reverses, right? So is there a certainty that Bitcoin will actually break all-time high again? There is no certainty. All right. So no one can say where the price is going to go next, right? So this is an important insight I want you to understand. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Okay. This is clear. Any questions do you guys have about the market? All right. That you would like to comment or you would like to ask? Please do so. There is a raise hand button icon right at the bottom, right? If you have a question, you can ask me now before I proceed with JDXBOT technicality. Any questions? If you are blessed with the information put up there in the chat room, that will be really, really great. I will really appreciate that. Okay, all right. Okay, if there is no question, then I assume, all right, that you guys understand, right, what is going on. Yes, please go ahead, Aruna, unmute yourself.
Well done, sir.
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me,
Yes,
sir?
yes, go ahead.
Okay, I want to ask question concerning this market. As the market is moving, so the DCA will continue with the market. Share that is my own understanding. If DCA is being happen, if the DCA being normalized in the strategies, what will happen to the position that is open?
Yeah, I will explain. It's a good question, right? But I will hold that to answer that question because I'm going to cover that in the presentation very, very shortly. Is that okay, Aruna?
Okay, sir.
All right. So if I don't answer that, then you can ask me later on. Okay. So that will be great. Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Aruna. Appreciate that. Okay. Now, I think let's just move on. Okay. Let's just move on. Let me just get my slide and let's just get going. Okay, now the first item is completed, right? So now I want to move to the rest. So hang on there, guys. Okay, hang on there. Enjoy the presentation. All right, enjoy the insight that I'm going to share with you guys. And thereafter, right, you can ask me any questions if there is, okay, related to the technicality aspects of JDXBOT itself. Okay, so now we're going to dive a bit deeper in. Now, even if you don't understand, right, don't worry. This is recorded, so you can watch again and again because you never know when you will understand, okay? There will be a time when you have your board and suddenly you go through that situation and you remember, hey, this was actually explained by Dr. clearly, right? So that is the reason why the AMA sessions are very important. And I hope, all right, we can get a lot of this insight, value, and resources, and I can put it up there in the YouTube so that our global team can actually refer to all this information, okay? So now let's just move on. Now, the first thing that I want to touch is about the types of wallets and accounts, okay? This is a confusion, or some of you probably still confused, right? What is happening, you know, how many wallets do we have, and so on, right? Now, please understand we have 4 types of wallets or accounts, you can call it, right? The first wallet or account, we call it as a main account, main futures account. So this is your main futures account, which is in Bitget. Now, the main futures account is basically your trading fund. So remember, right, currently your trading fund minimum requirement for each asset is $200. All right, minimum, right? 200 or more. So you need to have USDT 200, USDC 200, and BTC 200. And this will be sitting in your main futures account. Okay, so remember, okay, when I say main, it means your main futures account where the trading is taking place. Okay, now next we have the main spot. Now all these are in your Bitget. Okay, so you have your spot wallet. Spot wallet is where we store your profit, right? So every time the bot closes, the profit will actually remove and place in your spot wallet. So you can transfer, you can withdraw, you can do whatever it is because JDXBOT has no access into your spot wallet. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so we got the main futures account, we have the spot account, and then we have the strategy wallet. Now, strategy wallet is where user will actually allocate the 30% of the strategy fee. So you can call it as a management fee, or you can call it as a profit sharing fee or fuel fee. So this is in your JDXBOT back office, not in Bitget. Okay, because since we cannot deduct 30% from your Bitget, you have to allocate the 30% in your JDXBOT back office. And from there, right, the deduction will take place. So if I show you the JDXBOT back office, that will be clear, right? So you can see this is a JDXBOT. If you go to the dashboard, all right, here you have the strategy wallet. You see that? Dashboard, purchase strategy, strategy wallet. So in this strategy wallet, this is where you have your smart contract address, and you can actually deposit the 30%, okay, for the deduction. So every time, can you see that? Every time there's a profit, your fees will be, the fees for JDXBOT fees will be deducted here in the real time. All right. So you can deposit. Okay, you have a deposit here. You can deposit, and you can even actually set the balance reminder so that you don't forget. So make sure that your strategy wallet is always have sufficient fund for the deduction, because if the strategy wallet insufficient, or the fund or the fees cannot be deducted, your bot will be deactivated immediately. All right. So please make sure you set your reminder so that you receive an email every time it reaches certain level, certain threshold level, and then you can immediately top it up immediately so that the deduction will continue to take place. Okay, so this is the strategy wallet in JDXBOT. So this is a JDXBOT back office. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now then we also have another account that we have just introduced, right? This account is what we call a sub account. So you can see we got the main account, we have the sub account. Now the sub account is basically where you have your reserve fund. So this reserve fund will auto-regulate your main futures available balance to optimize your position ratio and mitigate the liquidation risk. Now, previously, right? Previously, when your main futures account is insufficient, we ask you to top up manually, right? But now you don't have to do that because you already have the fund in your sub account. So now, the rule of the sub account is 50%. The amount in the sub account is the 50% of your main account. So if let's say you have a USDT of $200, so your sub account must be minimum 100 or more, 50% of your main account. So if your main account is $1,000, then your sub account will be 50% of that, right? Which is $500. Now, this reserve fund is your fund. It's your fund. So JDXBOT will use this reserve fund to replenish your main account. And once the bot is closed, this amount will be returned back into your sub account automatically. Okay, so please understand. Okay, so there are 4 accounts that we have here. Now let me just highlight. Okay, there are, when it comes to JDXBOT, right, one of the most important thing that we really control is the wallet management. Okay, because I realize if the wallet management is not managed properly, that's where a lot of the trading positions are liquidated. So now, wallet management is critical when it comes to trading, right? So because of that, JDXBOT employ a dynamic risk mitigation system that actively manages the interaction between users' main futures account and the sub account to safeguard users' position. Okay, now I want to explain this once again to make sure everyone understands how the sub account and the main account actually works or relate. All right, this is critical. So you can see in this figure, right, you can see we have the sub account, we have the main account. So in this example, I have put if your main futures account minimum funding, right, $200 each strategy. All right. So if you got 3 strategy, that is $600. So when you have $200 for one strategy, your sub account will be 50% of that, which is $100. All right. So now let me explain to you how these things work. Okay. Number 1. Now, real-time monitoring. So what happened is that the algorithm, right, JDXBOT algorithm will continuously monitors the estimate liquidation price. So if it approaches, let's say, within 30,000 points of the mark price, which I will explain later, okay? At the end, you will see I explain all these things clearly so that you know what is a mark price, what is estimate liquidations, and so on, all right? Now, the system will then automatically replenish the main futures account with an amount equivalent to the total dollar cost average value. Now, this replenishment restores the balance to the highest available balance for optimal bot performance. So let's take for an example, right? I have a USDT, which is $200. So now, what happened is that when the DCA is conducted, right? When the DCA is conducted, let's say the DCA actually utilizes $10 of the $200. So that means now my futures, my main account is now $190. So what will happen? Now, the $10 will be replenished back into my main account from my sub account. So now my main account will return back to $200. Is this awesome? So this is what we call an intelligent system that we have created, whereby the sub account will automatically replenish and maintain your futures account base balance. Okay, base balance. So if your base amount is 200, it will maintain 200 all the time until your sub account is depleted. So that's the reason why we tell you 50%. Even if you put 100%, it's good for you. Because as long your sub account has sufficient fund, has more fund, it will continuously maintain your base amount. Now, maintaining your base amount is critical because if your base amount always remain 200 or always remain 1,000, then your profitability, your DCAs, your estimate liquidation probably will be much, much better compared to those who only got 50%. And if that 50% depleted, then they don't have the fund anymore to maintain their main account. I hope you get me, okay? Because remember, whatever amount in your sub account belongs to you, it is only basically replenishing it. And then when the position closes, that amount, right? Let's say if JDXBOT uses $100 from the sub account, the $100 then will return back to the sub account when the position closes. You get me, okay? So that is how the sub account and the main account basically integrate together. Okay, now, next is that the cycle and normalization, right? So as I mentioned earlier, right, once all trading positions are fully closed, the replenished funds are automatically returned to the sub account, preparing for the next trading cycle without requiring manual intervention. So what happens now, right? You see, previously, when you don't have enough fund, we actually tell you guys, hey, please, okay, top up your fund, right? Now, not many people has the fund to go and look for at that moment, right? Now we have already allocated the sub account, and you cannot join JDXBOT unless you have the fund ready for the sub account. So now this now, right, puts you into a place of peace. You can have the peace, right? Because you already allocated the fund for your main account, for your sub account. So you don't have to be going around and looking for new funds, right? Because you already allocated the 50% ahead of time. So you can see, right? So this is, I think, one of the important criteria if you want to be part of JDXBOT, all right? Because we want to make sure, okay, because the critical aspects about JDXBOT when it comes to futures trading is maintaining your main account. That is critical, okay? As long your main account, a base balance is always maintained, all right, you will actually smoothly run, your bot will smoothly run, and you will probably see a much better performance compared to those who have insufficient fund, okay? Now, the third item is that a fallback protocol. Now, this is, okay, if you look into this, the way we think, all right, the way we do things is a bit different, right? So you can see that. Now, what does a fallback protocol means? If the sub account lacks sufficient balance for replenishment, right, JDXBOT will switch to using the main account balance for continued DCA operation. So let's say, for example, right, we only give you a guide and tell you, hey, put 50% in your sub account. So if, let's say, right, we keep replenishing and your sub account depleted. So let's say that is zero amount now. So let's say all the $100 is already been used for the DCA. So what happened? Don't worry, right? Since there is since our algorithm check there is no fund in your sub account, we will use the main account to do the DCA. Can you see that? But when we use the main account to do the DCA, high likely, right? Your position ratio, your estimate liquidation, your net profit can be different. So what you can do is that you can continuously actually top up your sub account. You see that? So the moment you see that, hey, my sub account is depleted, you can actually go and top up your sub account. You do not need to top up your main account. Okay, so please take note. You can straight away top up your sub account, and JDXBOT will check your, when the next DCA, JDXBOT will check your sub account. Hey, now there is a fund again. Let's use the sub account then to replenish the main account. Can you see that? So this is an intelligent way of doing it, and it is all automated, so you do not need to worry. Can you see that? So that is the reason why you have this sub account being provided for you. So all the users have the sub account. So you need to maximize, how you want to use the sub account. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now the third important reason, the fourth important criteria is the critical alert trigger. All right, now in the event, main account balance dropped to 50%. So previously was 40. So after discussion internally, we decided to change it to 50. Okay, because the earlier we alert you, the better it is, right? Rather than alerting you when you are close to liquidation, right? Now, so in the event your main account balance dropped to 50% of your base amount, right? Let's say your base is $200. If your base account balance is $200 and it reduced by 50%, let's say your main account now reduced to $100, you will receive an alert, okay, through your email to tell you, hey, take note, okay, that your account now already reduced by 50%. Okay, get ready to top up your sub account. You see that? So some users, right, when their sub account is depleted, they may not take any action, right? So when your sub account is depleted, JDXBOT will use your main account. So your DCA will continue, so you do not need to worry. But at one point, if the market still go against, right, against and the price going up 10,000 point, 20,000 point, what happened? Your main account will actually reduce. So when your main account reduce and it hit the 50% alert, you will be alerted. So now you cannot say that we never tell you. Okay, so please understand, okay? JDXBOT will not stop your DCA. Because if we stop your DCA, your entry price will be far away. So we don't want this problem anymore. So DCA will continue, but we will alert you so that you will take the action to top up your sub account so that your DCAs continue. And if the market reverse, guys, that is going to be a huge profit. So make sure your strategy wallet have enough fund, okay, for the deduction, because when the DCA takes place, your position size will be bigger and bigger and bigger. All right. So I hope this is clear. Okay. This is a very important explanation so that you know the importance of the sub account and the main account to ensure the profitability and also to safeguard your position. So now, the benefit why we do this, right? The benefit definitely is an autonomous balance regulation. So it ensures stable hedging ratios, consistent performance, and reduced liquidation risk through intelligent fund movement between the sub-account and the main account. Can you see that? And also it is hands-free, right? Hands-free, worry-free, 100% autopilot. Because now we don't need to tell you, hey, you don't have enough fund. Can you top it up? We don't have to tell you already because the provision is already provided for you, which is the sub-account. So designed for fully automated experience. So this is where no manual intervention actually needed. Okay. So sub-account is a very, very critical component of JDXBOT. And this is the reason why JDXBOT can be one of a successful project. Although the market can go against us, it doesn't matter because as long as your wallet is managed, okay, managed properly, you can stay in the market and yet you don't get liquidated. Can you see that? So yesterday, 650 million were liquidated, but JDXBOT users are still in the game. Am I right? Can somebody please confirm that? Can somebody please verify my claim? Put that in the chat room so that others who are listening here will be able to see your comment there. Okay, especially those of you who have a position that is still open, because I know that we have a position open at around $80,000. All right, at an average. Now the price is 92. All right, 92. I think it went all the way to close to 95,000. So that is a 15,000 points, and yet JDXBOT is still in the game. All right, we are not out yet. Okay, we are not out yet. Why? Because of the wallet management strategy that we have actually put in place. Can you see that? So this is a very, very important insight. Okay, and this is why I want to make sure every one of you understand the relationship between the main account and your sub account. Okay, so I hope you would appreciate what we are doing. It's not easy, guys. It took me years to understand how the future strategies works. And now with this understanding, with this insight, and now we can actually put this in place and give this opportunity to our global community. All right. So all that our user need to make sure, okay, you make sure that you follow the requirement. Okay, you follow the requirement and make sure you have sufficient fund. Even if you have more, I told you 50%. You want to put 100%. Why not? Go and put 100%. So you don't need to worry about topping up again, right? So this is your sub account. So use your sub account and maximize the usage of it. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Awesome. Okay, now let me just quickly show you, right? Let me just quickly show you the sub account demo, right? Just walk through with you about the sub account. Now, before I go in there, right? If you check, okay, if you check the let me see. Yeah, that's right. So you can actually go to our getting started guide, right? If you go to our getting started guide, are you able to see my slide? Just a moment. Okay, just give me a minute, Josh. Why am I not able to see my... Okay, if you get into JDXBOT, right, and you go to getting started, right, so you can see, or you can go to the resource section and you can go to the tutorial. You see getting started guide. Then you just click that. Then it will bring you into the PDF file. Can you see that? This is the PDF file over here. Now, so if you would actually go to step 11, right? Let's go to step 11. All right, so this is a step 11 here. So step 11 talks about the sub account. Can you see that? So this is where the sub account is. So the sub account, how you transfer the fund and all those information are actually explained in detail, okay, in the sub account. Okay, so you can go through this this manual. Okay, but what I want to do is that I want to bring you to bid. Okay, if you click the profile icon, right, you see that profile icon. So you just go, you just tap the, tap the BitGet logo. It will bring you to the home page, and then you tap, you will see that switch account. So if you tap the switch account, then you can select, this is your main account, this is your sub account. So you click the sub account. So once you click the sub account, right, you can see it will bring you to this sub account homepage, and then you see over here, right? You see that? So you can see the wallet. This is the wallet. Okay, you can go to the wallet. This is your futures. Now, please understand, some people are confused, right? Now, when we talk about sub account, remember sub account also have spot, margin, and futures. Okay, so now let me ask you guys something, right? In your main account, where is your fund? Is it in your main futures? Are you doing futures trading or spot trading? Can somebody put in the chat? Are you doing spot or futures, guys? Please put in the chat. Okay, be interactive. Okay, I want you to answer me. Are we doing futures or spot? Yes, so we are doing futures. So if you are doing futures, you should fund your sub account into spot or futures. You should fund into futures, right? Yeah, this is the problem that many people make, because they go and fund into their spot, and then they come to us and say, doctor, we already funded our sub account. Then when our technical team check, it is not in the futures, but it is sitting in their spot. All right, so now confirm. Okay, how do you confirm? You just do what I'm doing here. After you fund, you go to the wallet and click futures. So once you click futures, right, it will now bring you to your futures. Can you see futures? Your sub account, spot, margin. We are looking at the futures. So at the futures here, right, you can see I have my USDT, my BTC, which is CoinM. Okay, you can hide the rest. Okay, click hide here. All right, click hide here. So if you have a balance, it will show. If you already use the fund, it won't show. Okay, later I will show you where to check the fund flow. And then you got USDC. All right, click. So you can check each of your accounts. So at the moment, I do have balance for my USDC because I just top it up. So you can see, right, if my sub account already zero, I can top it up. So how do you top up? Simple, right? Follow the guide. You send your fund to the spot. From the spot, then you transfer into your future sub account. Okay, now let's look into the fund flow. Now you see the icon here. Can you see that? Fund flow. All right, or you can use here at the top here and look for futures order. You see that? You can tap the futures order from the top here, or you can use this. Can you see? These are the same. It's the same icon. Okay, so if I click here, it will bring me to the fund flow. You see that? So now I can see in detail. Okay, normally I just put 3 months. So now I can see detail example. This is the amount. The green is the amount, the total amount I transferred. Now look at it. Look at it. The replenishment already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 replenishment completed. And now I have zero balance of my sub account. This is for my Bitcoin. You see that? And this is for my USDT, right? You see that? I transferred 275. So my total was 400. The replenishment was 3 times. And yesterday I just top up because I don't want to top up my main, right? I top up my futures because JDXBOT will check if my futures there is a fund. It will then use my futures again to replenish my main account. All right, so this is where you check your fund flow. Can you see that? So this is my USDC. See that? So USDC, this is the green. This is where I transfer from my, you can transfer your asset, okay, from the spot, wherever. Make sure you transfer into your sub-account futures, okay, sub-account futures wallet, okay. So you see I got total 125. It is already replenished 3 times and I have zero amount. You see that? So now, if I have zero amount, what happened? The next DCA, JDXBOT will check, hey, there is a zero amount, so it will not use my sub account. So what will happen? It will automatically use my main account. You see that? So if you go to the main account, right, you click over here, you can switch the account, go to the main account. All right, now in the main account, what you need to do, you go back to your futures, right? You go to your futures and you look for USDT, USDC, and CoinM, right? These are the 3 futures trading. So if I click my USDC, USDT, So you can see now I am back into my futures trading account. So here I can see my available balance, right? You can see your available balance here. All right, how much is been now currently from $1,000. I am currently having a balance of about close to $800. You see that? So that's the reason why you saw that I top up 200 in order to replenish another 200 to make sure I maintain my $1,000 all the time. Can you see that? But when will the 200 be replenished? When the next DCA. Okay, not now. Okay, not now. The next DCA, right? So this is an important insight for you. Okay, so this is my futures trading. Can you see that? My bot is still running, and this has been holding on for the past 12 days, right? I don't care, right? Because I am still in the market while others are getting liquidated. The trading is still going on. So no problem. So orders are still taking place. Can you see that? Orders are taking place, and I'm going to explain to you about the DCA later so that you will understand. So I'm going to keep this for you here, okay? Now, this is a browser, okay? If you have an app, you can use the app. So this is the app, okay? This is how the apps looks like. Can you see that? So I have an app that is running. So I can change here. You can see BTC, right? So I go back. Can you see? About 700, about close to $800 is that. So this is an app. So all the tradings are actually taking place in real time. And as a user, I can see everything taking place before my own eyes. All right. So that's the beauty about JDXBOT and also with BitGet, because you have access as a user and you have full control of your own account and of your own fund. Isn't this awesome? All right. Okay, great. I hope this is clear. All right. I hope this is clear, guys. Okay, awesome. Now, before I proceed, any questions that you want to ask?
Okay, Doctor, good afternoon from Nigeria.
Yes,
it's good to be looking at you and learning this. Okay, so my question is about the sub-accounts compared to the main accounts.
Yes.
You've said that the sub-accounts can even be up to 100% of your main account value. So the question I have now is, if I intended to top up my main account value, are you saying that, okay, if I had a 50% sub-account value and I wanted to top up my main account value, are you saying that if I add my sub-account value up to 100%, that this is better off than just going to my main account to go and increase it?
Okay, yeah, I think these are good questions. Right now, please understand, guys. You see how the algorithm works is that we call this as a cycle. Right now, every time a new position is open, we call it, until that position closes, we call it a cycle. Please understand that. Now, within that cycle, right? Within that cycle, let's say, so when the position closes, remember, right? There's a 5 minutes gap, or JDXBOT will check the market. Even sometimes it takes more than 5 minutes. Sometimes it can even be half day. Because if the condition doesn't meet, a new position will not open. So, every time a position is open, please understand, the position complete is called a cycle. Now, what happened to the algorithm, right? The algorithm will check if in that cycle, your base amount, right? Your base main account, let's say $1,000. So algorithm will lock your $1,000 as your base amount until the cycle completes. So even if you top up your main account to another $1,000 to make it $2,000, JDXBOT algorithm will only actually use $1,000, okay, in order for the DCAs and so on. We cannot use 2,000, because if you use 2,000, then your DCA and the position ratio will change. All right, we cannot do that. So that's the reason why what you can do is that don't top up your main account. No point, right? So you should top up your sub account, because we are going to continuously use your main account. So if your main account is depleted, you don't need to worry, because you are topping up your sub account, and JDXBOT will check your sub account and replenish, because we always want to maintain your main account $1,000 because that is what you started in that cycle. So now if you say, okay, I actually top up $1,000 when the bot is running, right? Yes, you can do that, but now it become 2,000. So when will the 2,000 be recognized? In the next cycle. So make sure, right, in the next cycle, when the bot closes, JDXBOT algorithm will check your main account. Now it says that, hey, you got $2,000 there. And you will check your sub account for the 50%, right? And let's say you have $1,000 now in your sub account, your bot will start. But if you don't have $1,000, it is still 500. The bot will not restart and you will receive an email saying your sub account is insufficient. Can you see that? So that is the reason why it is better to top up your sub account, because if you have more in your sub account later on, right, you can transfer into your main account. So if you want to change your main account order size, a main account funding, then do it during the 5 minutes or when the bot stops. That will be the best time, right? So before the bot restart, make sure you get your fund ready, okay, in order. Or if you want to do it while the bot is running, you can, but make sure you do in your main account and you also do in your sub account, so that if the bot closes, your fund from the main account that is actually replenished from the sub account will return back to your sub account. All right, and now you make sure you add another $500, right, to your sub account. And when JDXBOT sees that 221, right, 221, so you got 2,000, you have 1,000, your bot will restart automatically. Okay, is that clear, Titus? Titus, is that clear? Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, it's very clear.
Awesome.
I clearly understand. That's perfect.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is how things works, okay, because it's great questions and I hope that is really helpful, okay. Now I take one more questions and then I'm going to continue because there's a few more that I have to cover, guys. Okay, now yes, Udemy, please go ahead. Yes, unmute yourself, Udemy, right? Are you there, Udemy? Can you unmute yourself? Yes, go ahead. Yes, please go ahead. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Udemy. Maybe you can get back again, check your audio. I can't hear you. Check your audio over there, okay? I'll get back to you later. Okay, let's just continue while the rest of them check their technical stuff. Okay, let me continue. Okay, great, awesome. So far, every one of you are with me. Okay, that is great, awesome. Now let's continue. I hope you guys are learning. Okay, you guys are learning, and not only learn, guys. I want you to see what we are doing, because the value that we are adding is different than any other product that you can find outside that. Sorry to say that, okay? We are not claiming we are the best, no. But the way we do things is different, because JDXBOT is a sole proprietary technology. We never follow anyone. It is 100% my own strategy, all right? So we just put it into an algorithm so that we can provide it to the world, that's all. So you can see over here, we don't ask you to set the parameters. We don't ask you to set the risk, nothing, right? All that you need to do is only to manage your fund and leave the rest to JDXBOT, okay? That is what we are doing. I hope, okay? I hope our global team appreciate this effort, because it is not easy to do this, guys, honestly. So those of you who followed us from the beta testing, you know, 2 years ago, right? This is a work in progress from 2 years, guys. And here we are with this mature, a different way of doing things. That's why you don't find what we are doing in other projects, okay? Because this is a sole proprietary and this is built, customized, okay? Customized, built with my own strategy that has been tested for many, many years. And today we allow you to use this strategy, and you can see that it is a complete different way actually to trade. Okay, because one of the successful way to trade is to manage your wallet. If you can manage your fund, you can stay in the market, and at one point you will be benefiting the biggest while everyone else is actually liquidated. Okay, all right, great. Now let's look into the next topic, right? Which is the DCA and hedging relationship. Now this is a sorry. Now this is a very important topic, right? Because this is what makes JDXBOT. This is the heartbeat of JDXBOT, and this is what makes JDXBOT different. Okay, so let's look into the DCA, right? Now, in a simple term, DCA is at orders. Okay, but we use DCA as a dollar cost averaging, right? Please understand, JDXBOT don't use martingale strategy. Okay, martingale and DCA is the two different things. If you use martingale, you may not have enough fun because you need a lot of fun if you use martingale. So we use DCA, but we have an interval when the at orders or DCA is taking place, which I will show you very, very shortly. Okay, all right, great. Let's move on. So what is DCA? Okay, for JDXBOT members, right? In JDXBOT, we call DCA as an ambush strategy. So it is an ambush strategy used to reduce the gap between the entry price and the market price or the mark price to speed up positions profit taking when favorable market movement occurs. Can you see that? So this is a reward centric. So DCA is actually part of reward, is part of profit. So we use DCA to manipulate the entry price, and we bring the entry price as close as the current or the market price, right? But please understand, although we do DCA, sometimes DCA also affected because of the price movement. So that's the reason why you don't rush to do the DCA. We do the DCA as been predetermined by our algorithm. Can you see that? So that is important. Okay. So that's why when the market were moving sideways, there is inactivity in the market. There was no DCA, or there is less DCA. But then suddenly when the breakout takes place, you start to see a lot of DCAs take place, right? Because we were waiting. All right. So in waiting, money is made. Waiting doesn't mean inactivity. Can you understand me? Waiting is important in life, okay? In life. In waiting, your character is tested. That's why many traders, they cannot wait. They are very impatient. And because they are impatient, they go and add order, they go and do DCA faster, and then the market go against them, and then they got liquidated. Because why? They are impatient. They are too greedy to make money fast. All right? So that is not the way how to do it. Okay, so this is DCA. Now, what is hedging? Hedging is basically used to maintain a reasonable estimate liquidation price range, or we push the estimate liquidation price further away from the mark price, offering greater protection for users' position. So this is a risk-centric. So you can see, right? We need to strike the balance between DCA and hedging, okay, for enhancing both the rewards, the return, while addressing the risk. So we need to balance between the reward and the risk. So this is important when it comes to trading. So if you don't balance this is where you can either lose the trade or you can actually waste a lot of your bullets or waste a lot of your fund. And we don't want that to happen because we want to be responsible to our users' fund. You see that? We don't want to use all your sub-account at once. We want to use it gradually, right? When it is needed to replenish your main account and the DCA is taking place, replenish the main account, DCA is taking place, replenish the main account, DCA is taking place. So that is how the whole relationship between the DCA and hedging should take place. Okay, now, let me reveal to you, okay? Reveal to you how our DCA schematic or our DCA tactical strategy actually works, okay? Now, so you can see, right, in this image, right, you see there are three components, right? Three components. So the first component here is number of DCAs. So if you look at the x-axis here, we have a total of 14 DCAs. Now, Now, please understand, these numbers are not fixed because we may even increase to 20 DCA. So a lot of what we are doing is still in progress. Okay, please understand. So we can increase the number of DCAs, we can increase the number of hedging at any time. So currently the number of DCAs, the total is 14, and the number of hedging, the total is 10. Now, what determines the execution of the DCA and the hedging? ROE. You see that? The return on equity, right? So the ROE. So when the ROE is negative, that's where the DCAs and the hedgings are taking place. Not when it is positive. When it's positive, we take profit. But when it is negative, that means when the market go against us, that is where the DCAs, the ambush, and the hedging is taking place. So now if you look into a schematic of it, right, how will it look like? For example, right, when the ROE is minus 50%, first hedging will take place. Sorry, first DCA will take place. Can you see that? Was there any hedging? No hedging. Hedging is not required at this time. You see that? So you can see at this moment at minus 50. So now, why am I revealing this to you? So if you open a new position and you see your ROE is minus 50, you will see the first DCA takes place. So now you know what to expect, right? Because previously, you might be blurred. You are not clear. Hey, why suddenly my bot is doing DCAs, right? But now you will know, okay? So minus 50, first DCA takes place. Then minus 100, can you see that? Second DCA will take place. Then minus 150%, third DCA will take place. So you can see, the first three DCA, there is no hedging at all. Then the fourth DCA is at minus 200. We had the first hedging start to take place. You see that? So this gives you, now you know, right? So, oh, okay, now I know why my bot is adding order and why there is a hedging taking place. So remember, why we do DCA? DCA is to move the entry price closer to the market price. Why we do the hedging? To keep the liquidation far away. Okay, there is no standard, but we try to keep as far away. We try to keep as near for the entry price. Can you see that? So one has to be near to the market price. One has to be far from the market price. Are you clear? Okay. So now, next, minus 250. Can you see now there is no hedging? But we have already done 5 DCAs. And next, the minus 300, we have the 6 DCA and the second hedging. You see that? So now, if you look at the interval, right, it's 50, 100, 150. So what is the interval? 50. So every 50%, we are actually doing the DCAs. Now come the next part. Now is 300, 350. Right? See, 350, the 7 DCAs takes place with a third hedging in place. And then we have next 400, which is the 8 DCAs and the fourth hedging. So now if you look into a lot of the position now, it is currently at the 8 DCAs. So that means it is already at the ROE minus 400. Am I right? Minus 400. So now, if we look, okay, if we go back and check our board, okay, let's check our board, right? Now, if you look, right, you can see, can you see that? So at minus 400, we already did 8 DCAs, but our ROE now is only minus 279. So that means we have improved the entry price close to around, I think about what? About 70%, 60, sorry, about 40 to 50%. That is huge. So imagine if you don't do DCA, now your ROE will be minus probably 400 or 450%. But because of the DCA, we have brought the entry price closer to the mark price, and the ROE now you can see is minus 270. Isn't this brilliant? So if the price goes down, okay, from now if the price goes down, the ROE will reduce, and if the ROE turn to green and hit minus and hit 35%, we will close this position in a massive, massive profit. Okay, I hope you get me now. Okay, so I will come back to this very, very shortly. Okay, let's get back to the presentation first. Okay, okay. So now we are at the 8, right? And for this year. So next, the 9 will be interval 100. Can you see that? Not 50. Interval. So it means if the price actually move to 97,000 or go to $100,000, it will be 500. So imagine, right? We are now at around 279. So it has to go to minus 500 for the next ad order or for the next DCA to take place. Can you see that? So I hope you are getting me now, right? This is a very important insight, you see. But am I telling that this won't change? This may change. Even I may put another 50 later on. Because please understand, JDXBOT is continuously improving. So every time we monitoring the market, we monitors our algorithm and we keep improving while our users are keep generating profit. Okay. So now that is already 9 DCA and 5th hedging, right? Next we go to 10, which is minus 600, 11 minus 700, 12 minus 800, 13 minus 900, and finally 14 DCA, 10 aging at minus 10,000. Now, if you look, right, we are now at 8. At 8, how much points have we actually, how much the price actually changed, right? Because if you look, a lot of the position opens at around $80,000. So if the price now at around 95,000, that means at 8 DCAs, we already tested up to 15,000 points. So now you tell me, right? Do you think that this 14 DCA will last until how many points? How much more you think if the price goes 20,000, 30,000? All right, will it be able to sustain our position? That is the most important questions, right? Now, please understand, for that to happen, if your sub-account is depleted, example, at 8 and order, most of the sub-account is depleted, right? Now, JDXBOT is using your main account. So now, if you want to continue the DCA, then you can actually look into, you can leave it for it to use your main account, but then your main account will reach 50% and then you will receive a critical alert. Or you can top up your sub-account and JDXBOT will continue to check your sub-account, and if there's a fund, we will continue to do the DCA from your sub-account. You see that? So this is important, right? So this is how the whole thing works. That's why sometimes we feel reluctant to tell the user to put more fund. Because then the user say, why I need to waste my money and put in the sub-account? Because they don't understand that the sub-account is actually, okay, helping them a lot in terms of maneuvering the market and also maintaining the performance itself, right? So now, I hope this is clear, all right? I hope this is clear because we are just showing you, how the DCAs actually. So now, if you look into your bot, you can see, I have already done how many DCA, right? Example. So maybe some of you still confused. Don't worry, all right? Don't worry, okay? I will take questions later, right? Let me complete this first. Okay, so now, let's just go and check. Okay, let's just go and check. Let's go back to here, right? Okay, let's go back to here. So now, I told you that I'm going to come back here. So now, if you want to confirm the number of DCAs and the number of hedging, you can go to the order details. All right, order details. Okay. Now, if you are using the app, let me go to the app also. If you're using the app, you can tap here. Can you see that? This button here, you can tap here. And then you can choose just a moment, you can choose from here. Okay, trade details. You see that? Trade details. All right. So the browser is order details. The app is a trade detail. So you can check the same thing. All right. Now let me just get back to the browser. Okay, for easy reference. Now, so if you look here, right, how do we check? Now let's check. So I want to see first when the position closed. So you can see the last position closed on the 11th. You see that? On the 11th, the position closed. And then we have open long, open short. So this is where a new position or a new cycle actually opened. Can you see that? So now let's do some homework here, okay, based on the DCA information I have just shared with you. So if you see here, right, open long, open short, okay, open long, open short. Now please understand the first order or the initial order, long and short. So in this example, you can see, right, if you look at the order size, all right, if you look at the order size, the long is 0.05, the short is 0.02. That means the short amount is greater than the long. So that means the position opened down. All right, we opened down. Okay, so you can see. So means the moment we open, we already did the first hedging together. So this is what we call a dual hedging mode or a dual hedging position. So JDXBOT don't use single position. Every time we open dual position. One position will be greater than the other based on the market condition. Now let's do some calculation here, right? So the initial position, open long, open short. Now the first DCA, can you see the first DCA open short? Why? The market is going long. Since the market is going long, we are adding order or doing averaging on the short. So this is 50%. So at 50%, the next open short is 100%. The next open short is 150. The next open short is 200 and hedging. Can you see that? 200% and hedging. Is this correct? Let's go back and check our at 200. Can you see? At 200, the fourth add order and the first hedging. Can you see that? So that's how you read. That's how you read your trade. Okay. So let's check again. So position open long, open short. The first add order 50 minus 50% ROE minus 100% ROE minus 150 minus 200 and hedging. Next minus 250. Okay, there is a DCA minus 300 and then hedging. Minus 350 and then hedging. Okay, now next we have the 8. Can you see the 8, right? So how many add order? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we got how many hedging? 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go back and check whether is this correct. So 8 hedging, 8 DCAs, how many hedging? 4 hedging, right? Can you see? Is this correct? Yes, right? So I hope you are learning something here, right? So you can confirm under your trade details, all right, under your trade details, this information. It will happen exactly because it follows the algorithm. If it's otherwise, then please let us know, okay? If it's otherwise, do let us know so that our technical team can look into it, okay? All right, I hope this is clear. Oh my goodness, I hope you guys are learning, man. Okay, let me take a question just now. Yes, Udami, please unmute yourself. Okay, I think we have a very good suggestion, right, over there. If you look into the chat, right, Killian is saying we have a better understanding of the DCA and hedging. Maybe it would be better to make users have one-to-one. Absolutely. That is what we want you to do, guys. But the thing is that the entrance to one-to-one probably more difficult, right? Because you need the fund. So what we advise you, enter with 50% and then make sure that you make it one-to-one later on. Can you see that? So that gives you, at least you start to make money and then you increase your sub account to one-to-one. Okay, I think that will be a better advice. Okay, yes, Udami, please unmute yourself.
All right, Doctor. Yeah,
yes.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
All right, we appreciate what you have been doing. My question is, Assuming I put in the $600 in the 3 bots and another $300 for that's the 50%.
So you are saying 600 in the main account and 300 in your
the futures.
Okay.
Yes, sub account. Yeah, and the last lecture we had, you said we can make up to 20%, 25%, anyhow, any percentage we make. Is it the percentage? Is it on the $900 both in the sub account and the futures account, or just only
on your $600?
Future. Okay, on the futures 600. Okay,
$600. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Great. Because sub account is your money. It's not the trade. It's not the trading money.
Okay.
Okay. But the sub account is actually assisting your main account, but the main trading is taking place from your 600.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. So that is important because when you calculate the ROE, normally you don't include the sub account because the sub account will return back to your sub account. So you don't include that in your ROI. Okay, great. Yes, Killian, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. JD.
Yes, please go ahead.
I have to say, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, great. First of all, I must say, amazing insight. What you just demonstrated there, it just blew up my mind. I wish I knew this before, but that's a different story. I was thinking, does the size of the main account bring a variance into the implementation of the model that you just demonstrated? Why do I ask this? I ask this because for my USDT bot, I was at the seed DCA and my sub account is fully depleted. So I'm trying to think if the size has as an additional variance parameter into the model.
Okay.
Just thinking loud.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. I think I did touch that earlier, right? I did answer the question, I guess so. But let me just explain that once again. Okay, now, please understand at the moment, right? As I'm talking to you now, we are utilizing whatever amount you put in your main account. So even if you top up your main account, we are using that to do the DCAs and so on. So because of that, your DCA ratio and also your estimate liquidation, right? You may see that some of you, your estimate liquidation is close because we are using all the fund in your whatever the fund based on the ratio, right? Based on the ratio and the algorithm of your main account. But we realize that that may actually have some variance. That's why some of you are seeing a variance in your, I think some of you, later when I touch the position ratio, you will understand what I'm trying to say because I'm not done yet. Okay, I'm going to share with you the position ratio. Some of you see your position ratio are beautiful, but your liquidations are coming closer. All right, so that is not good, right? Because the reward and risk must be balanced. Okay, so now moving forward after this cycle, okay, this cycle we can't do much, but moving forward, when the bot closes, we will only use your base amount. That's why I told you earlier, right? Now we are using your highest available amount. Next, we will use your base amount. What do I mean? If you let me take an example. Okay, no example here. Let me see. Example, your base amount when the cycle start, when the bot start is 1,000. So that 1,000 will remain until the cycle actually complete. All right. Even if you top up your main account, to another 1,000, 2,000, we will not use 2,000 because the ratio will be different. So we will maintain the 1,000 until that cycle close. So in that way, your position ratio and your estimate liquidation will be controlled and it will be balanced between the risk and reward. I hope this is clear. So you can, if you want to top up later on, even if you top up even if you say, okay, I don't have time to top up later because I don't know when the bot is going to stop. So don't worry. you can top up your main account. Let's say you say, I want to put another $1,000 for my main account, and I also will top up my sub account another 500, right? So now your main account is 2,000, your sub is 1,000, but the sub is already depleted. So that means your 500 is now sitting in the main account, right? So don't need to worry. When the bot stops, your 500 will return back to your sub. Now it will be 1,000. Your main account will be 2,000. So when the bot restart, it will be based on 2,000 as your base amount now. You get me, right? So if you don't want to do that when the bot is running, then you can do when the bot stops. Now, please understand, okay? The other thing I want to explain is this. You see, guys, if you remove your main account, like let's say when the bot stops, you remove, let's say $1,000 that you have, you remove and you transfer back to your spot. You can do that, no problem, because the bot already stopped. Don't do when the bot is active, okay? Then you get liquidated, it's your own problem. So you can transfer to your spot. Now, when you transfer to your spot, you do not need to rush. You can decide when you want to send back to the main account, because as long as your main account, there is no fund identified, JDXBOT will not open a position. So if you say, I'm going to change my amount and so on, and what you can do, immediately remove your fund from your main account and put into your sub account. So then you take your time. You take your time, you decided, okay, I think I don't want to fund now. I will wait until the market crash. Then I'm going to fund. That's up to you. So remember, you can decide when you want to start and stop your bot. Start and stop your bot. You do not need to ask us to stop your bot. You can decide, because it now based on the amount, whether it's available in your main account or not. That's why we give you the 5 minutes allowance. So in that 5 minutes, you can decide to remove your fund and so on. So that's why, right? If you are smart, you may not fund all your account at once. If you got 3 bots, you may fund your bot probably at a different entry price. Guys, are you getting me? Or are you getting me? Now, this is your own smartness. So you do not need to fund all the account at once and then get it started at the same time. No, you can do it differently. Example, right? Some of you now, the price is 92,000. You may come in now and start probably USDT bot. And then you wait. Maybe the price goes down to 85,000. You start your USDC bot. And then the Bitcoin price drop to 70 or whatever, right? Then you start your BTC, because it's always nice to start your BTC at the bottom, not at the top. You see that? Yes, I'm not saying that JDXBOT will not do the work, but if you start everything at one point, you might have a lot of DCAs. It is not wrong. You can still make a lot of money, but the thing is that you can what I'm trying to say, you can start your bot. You decide when you want to start your bot, actually, not us. That's why we give you that 5 minutes allowance. I hope this insight is helpful, okay? I hope this is helpful. Okay, great. Okay, Killian, did I answer your questions?
Yeah, that was really amazingly put, the way you put it. But I have a follow-up question. Is it possible for the technical team to send an alert email when a cycle closes? Because sometimes you might be very busy in a meeting or in a workshop, and then you pop out and just closed and open.
Yeah, we don't have to do that, because basically, right, you see, only those who want to stop their bot actually will be monitoring when the position close. Because even if you send the email, 5 minutes, some people, they won't have the time in 5 minutes.
Okay, understood.
You see that? So because normally, right, only those who are interested to stop the bot, they will be waiting. But those who are not interested, they just want the bot to continue to run. So those who are waiting, actually, they are anticipating for the bot to close, and then they remove the fund.
Okay, fair enough.
So because we realize that even if we send an email and if the guy is sleeping, it is just a waste of another resources, right? So no point to do that. Okay, but please understand, okay? If you have the BitGet app, normally when the position close, you get the notification from BitGet, right, in real time.
Yeah, that also. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So that is, I think that is sufficient. You do not need an email for that. Okay, all right, great. Thank you, Killian. I think, Killian, that is a fantastic question. Let me move on. When is the 5 minutes? We don't know, guys. We don't know when is the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes can be any time when the bot stops, right? Because we don't know when the bot will stop. All right. So when I say bot stops, mean when the bot will close in profit. We don't know, right? Because that is depend on the market. And when JDXBOT, when the market, when the price arrives and we close, when we close from the point of closing, you will know, because when we close in profit, Bitcoin will send you a notification that your positions are closed. From that point, you got 5 minutes, sometimes longer, right? Because 5 minutes is 5 minutes is what we give. But then sometimes, if the algorithm and the market condition doesn't meet, JDXBOT will not restart your bot because we follow the conditions of the market. Okay, so please understand that. Sometimes it can be more than 5 minutes. Okay, so that's why if you got 3 bots, you realize, right? Hey, why one bot is already starting and another 2 bot is still not started yet? Because that one bot meets the criteria. The other 2 bot yet to meet the criteria. So you have to be patient. Okay, so please understand that. Okay, great. Now let me just continue, guys, so that we can try to finish this. Okay, okay, great. So I hope now you are getting where we are going. Okay, I hope you are getting how this strategy is actually working. All right, and you can see this is a brilliant way of doing the strategy. Although I tell you honestly, guys, we are not perfect yet. Okay, but it is our goal to perfect it. And one day, right, we can have the peace of mind, let this bot run autonomously without we worrying about anything, right? So that's what we want to do, okay? So at the moment, right, please, okay, help us, okay? Watch your estimate liquidation. If you see your liquidation are closed, you can top it up, do whatever, push your liquidation away, okay? But at one day, when we start to use the base available balance, high likely you will see lesser of this kind of scenarios and so on. Okay, so just take note of that. Okay, so I have already shown you how to verify the actual trade details. So now you know, right? You just go to the trade details and then you can see the details of the trade. You can even see the number of DCAs and the number of hedgings, okay, that is taking place. Okay, so I hope that is helpful. Now the other thing, okay, that is very important here is that the position ratio, right? Position ratio, estimate liquidation price, and the entry price. Okay, now why sub account and main account management are very critical. Okay, this is actually my biggest concern. Okay, when it comes to building an algorithmic trading, crypto algorithmic, this is the most critical part. So that's why the wallet management are critical. But now the question is why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing the DCAs and all these things, right? Let me answer your questions. Number one, okay, the most important thing when it comes to dual hedging is basically what we call a position ratio. Now, the position ratio, okay, please, okay, everybody take note. The formula, okay, the position ratio standard must be below 0.3. Okay, so if your position ratio below 0.3, the more lower, the better it is because the greater net profit you will enjoy. If your position ratio above 0.3, you might break even or you might see a small losses when we close the position. So now, how do you check? So this is your trading, right? You got the app. So if you see the position size, can you see the position size? This is a BTC amount. Okay, all will be using BTC amount. That is biggest standard. If you want to see US dollar is here. So 0.005. Okay, this is the margin here is actually your US dollar, but the BTC here is a leverage amount after taking consideration of $11 times 40x. So it's a 0.05. Okay, so now if you take the hedging position is a smaller amount. Or how do you know this is hedging? Can you see this icon here? You see that? At the end, estimate liquidation price, you see an icon. Here, there is no icon. So if you see an icon and the amount is small, that is your hedging position. So if you take your hedging position and divide by your main position, which is the bigger amount, guys, don't scratch on my screen, please. Okay. All right. Thanks. So if you take the hedging position and divide by the main position, A divide by B, you see my net profit, my profit ratio is 0.22. All right. So now every one of you, right? You can check. You can now start to check already. So, but don't do anything, right? You don't do anything. If you see a discrepancy, let's say you are above 0.3, you can let us know in the group. Okay. All right. So, don't, let me just share my screen again. Okay. Don't scratch on my screen, guys, or else that doesn't look nice for the recording. Okay. So, so please understand. Okay. So that is why when we do a dual hedging, the most important is the position ratio. Your main position must be 4 times or more greater than your hedging position. You see that? So in that manner, when we close later, right? When we close at plus 35%. So people ask me, what ROE do you close at plus 35%? Okay, that is our standard. So when we close at plus 35%, normally one is positive, the hedging will be negative, right? But because the hedging amount is small, your net profit will be greater, so you will still be making money. All right. So the first is the position ratio. You need to watch. Okay, this is important. So that's why the DCA, right, plays a very important role, and the amount that we use also plays a significant role. That's why if every time your main account is replenished back to your base amount, your position ratio will be beautiful. Can you see that? But if your position in your main account reduces because your sub account depleted and you didn't top up your sub account, then we use your main account and your main account reducing. What happened? Your position ratio start to have some discrepancy. So now you know what is the problem, right? So that's why we watch this every day. Okay, every day report. We have a report internally and we watch. So we know currently, I think there are 2 or 3 users whereby your ratio is 0.31, 0.33, and I think 2 users 0.44. Okay, so you need to check because these users, they did not start with $200. They start with $100 previously, and I told them to top up. Still, they have not done that, and because of that, their position ratio is now out of the spec. So if let's say market comes down and close, right, they will probably see losses. So what a waste, right? After you waited for 12 days and then you see losses, right? What a waste. Okay, we don't want that to happen. Okay, so please take note. Now, the second critical item is your estimate liquidation price. So this is to mitigate the liquidation. So how do you check your estimate liquidation price? Very simple. D minus C. So your estimate liquidation price minus your mark price, which is your current market price, not your entry price, okay? Current market price. So if I take 110,877 minus 92,000, my liquidation is about $18,000 or $19,000 far away. So do I really have to worry? No, right? Because my liquidation is far away. So that means 110 plus another 20,000, right? That means 130,000. So do you think that Bitcoin will go to 130,000 easily? I don't think so, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So the closer your liquidation price to the mark price, the riskier it is. So if you notice your liquidation is already below 10,000 points, right? I think it is quite risky. So you might want to quickly top up your sub account so that, in the next DCA, JDXBOT can top up your main account and push the liquidation away. Or you can top up your main account and push the liquidation away. It's up to you. Okay. So, but now you know how to check this. Okay. This is important. So now you know what to expect and how to check, right? So these are important. That's why don't just look at this page and think that there is nothing here. These are important components that you need to understand. And our job is not only to empower ordinary people to generate extraordinary income. We also want to empower you with knowledge. Okay, these are free knowledge. Okay, you won't find this anywhere because no one is doing what we are doing. No one actually explore bigger features like what we are exploring. Okay, so that's why we're using BitGet, because we know exactly how BitGet works. Okay, so this is the reason why. Now, the other critical component is the position closure efficiency. Can you see that? The floating time. So this is the mark price minus the entry price. So this is where the DCA comes in. Can you see that? So if you take the mark price and minus the entry price, you will get how far are we from the current market price. Can you see? It is about 5,000 points. So that means the market has to come down right now. Please understand, right? Now, can you just imagine, we started at around 80,000. I think the entry point around 80,000. And the market went to 95,000, which is about 15,000 points. Because we did the DCA, we are now only about 5,000 points. If you don't use a dual hedging position strategy, and if you only open a single position, now your distance will be 15,000 points, and you might be dead and get liquidated. Okay, now you can see. So the number of DCAs, right, 6 or 7 or 8, actually have moved the 80,000 to 86,000. So that's why I would love to see Bitcoin go up to 97 or 98 so that we can do a few more DCAs, and high likely the 86 will come to 88 or even 90,000. And if the price comes down below 90,000, all our position will close, right? So it's the way how you see, because if you have the best strategy, then you are expecting the price to go against you so that you can make more money. You see that? So if, let's say, right, my bot closes, it closes at $47. Can you see that? My margin is 47. So means at 47 and 35%, that will be a huge profit. So make sure you top up your strategy wallet, guys, because when the DCA is a lot, sometimes your strategy wallet will get depleted very fast. So you top up your strategy wallet, make sure you are ready, because if your strategy wallet is insufficient and we cannot deduct, your bot will get deactivated. You will receive the email. So to prevent that, make sure you get ready, okay? In case. Now, so this is awesome, right? Instead of 15,000, we are now only about 5,000 away. Now, if the market price comes down, this will reduce even further. So, but people say, wow, 5,000 is so far away. Not for Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin can move 5 or 10,000 in a day, okay? So Bitcoin don't care. Okay, so this is the 3 important components why the sub-account and main account management is critical. I hope I am answering you and giving you the nerve. This is the nerve of JDXBOT, and why JDXBOT is unique, and why our sole proprietary technology, okay, is, I don't think so anyone can even copy what we are doing, because this is out of since 2014 while I'm already starting to trade. All right, so imagine 2014 up to now, how many years of expertise is this been put into the strategy? Okay, and we already tested this since the beta testing, right? 2 years ago when we started this algorithm. So this is our sole proprietary technology, and I hope, right, I hope this is helpful for you to understand. So from today onwards, right, most of you will become expert already. Now you know what to look for, what to expect when you see. So if there are any discrepancy, we will love to hear from you. At least update us so that our technical team is aware when some of these things happen, so that we can continuously improve. Now, please understand, all right? At JDXBOT or JD Wealth Maker, we adopt Kaizen. Okay, Kaizen is called continuous improvement. Because I am a process engineer, I started as a process engineer, and I worked in a Japanese company for about 8 years. Okay, so I do a lot of Kaizen improvement activity in those companies. That's why I started my management consulting after I completed my work, I started my own company as a management consultant doing business turnaround program for many corporate, companies around the world. So I adopt and our team adopt continuous improvement. So we want to continuously improve because there is nothing is static. Things are keep changing. Market is dynamic. So we are not perfect and we will continue to improve. So I hope you can keep pace with us. Okay, keep pace with us. And that's why the AMA session is very, very important. Okay. Now, last but not least, I just want to re-emphasize again on the questions, right? On the question, the funding advice, right? So now the three scenarios, right? If your sub account is depleted or your estimate liquidation price is drawing closer to the mark price, let's say below 10,000 for me is considered very critical. Your main account available balance dropped to 50% and you receive critical alert. So the question is, where should you top up additional fund? Main account or sub account? All right. So what you should do is that you should top up in your sub account so that JDXBOT will check your sub account. If there is a fund, we will use that fund to replenish your main account. Okay. I hope that answers your question today, right? This is important because people are confused. Should I top up my main? Should I top up my sub, right? You can, I think the best is to top up your sub. Okay, so keep this as your habit, as your standard practice. Okay, so JDXBOT will still check your sub account. Okay, but if you really worry that, wow, my main account already, my liquidation is too close, then I would advise you immediately top up your main account first. And then later on, right, you can top up your sub account because the moment you top up your main account, your liquidation will be pushed further away. Okay, so just take note of that because sometimes, because of the ratio, right, sometimes you can see your liquidation is coming much closer, but your position ratio. So to balance between position ratio and estimate liquidation is the biggest challenge when it comes to dual hedging position. Futures trading, all right? Just take note of that, okay? But by God's grace, I hope we are managing well so far. I hope you guys are happy. Although, yes, we are already 12 days. I'm not really worried about it, okay? If everything is in order and if the market reverses, right? We don't know. We are already seeing sell-off taking place. If the market reverses and it comes down, guys, that is it, right? Imagine the 12-day profit. Okay, that will be awesome. Okay, that will be really great. Okay, so I hope, right? I hope I have given you, huge, knowledge-based information today, and I think this is the heartbeat. What I'm sharing with you, the first day is the most important content I'm sharing with you, so that you are not lost. So now you know what to expect, right? Now you know what to look for, and now you can check. Okay, you can check. Your bot, and you can know exactly, oh, this is what I should be looking for, and this is how things work. So now it clarifies, right, why sub account is a very important element, right, a component that we have added, and this is how that you can see how effective and efficient this is going to be, right, as we move forward. Okay, so I'm not saying that you won't get liquidated. I never promise anything, right? Even we don't promise you fixed return. But what I'm trying to say is that you can evaluate, okay, the strategy yourself. Because many of you probably are traders. Many of you probably have done a lot of bots in different exchanges, different platforms. But you can probably see the difference here, right? That's the most important, okay? So for me, I don't mind how long I stay in the market. I don't mind. Okay, as long as, okay, I walk out victoriously. Okay, so the strategy is designed for winners. If you are losers and you start to get panic, then JDXBOT is not for you. Okay, so please understand that. Some people ask me, why you don't have stop losses? Stop losses are for the losers. All right, so that's why we don't have stop losses. When you put a stop loss, you already psychologically program your mind, you're going to get liquidated. Can you see that? And as I mentioned to you, right, let me bring you to the liquidation data. Let's just end with that. So if you look at the liquidation data, right? So this is important when it comes to Bitcoin trading. So let me go to the 12 hours. Now look at the 12 hours. We have a liquidation. Actually, this is about 30 million at around 93,000. And we got, if we go on the 24 hours, okay, can you see? We got a liquidation. But I'm like to look at probably, let's say, 3 days. Look at it. Look at here over here, 99 million and 87,000. And let's look in 1 week time. Can you see that, guy? We have here at around 83,140 million. Now you tell me what the market makers is going to do. They're going to trick everyone and push the price up to around, okay, now it is around 93. They might push to 95, 97, and everybody will be thinking that it's going to go up, and they're going to dump the whole thing, likely, and they're going to liquidate millions, okay, millions of long position at the bottom here. These are all the dumb money, or the dumb traders who put the stop losses. These are all the stop losses. You see that? So the exchanges, right? Example, if you go to Binance, see that Binance? Look at Binance. They have massive amount, about 9.32 million here, right? And they also have some amount up here. That is a 24 hours, 48 hours. You can see more and more liquidation at the bottom there. So these are how the exchanges work, okay? They actually hunt for liquidity. So they wait for liquidity. So Bitcoin is all about liquidity grab. It's not about resistance or support. Okay, they look for the liquidity. So this is how smart money trade. So if you don't understand this, then you're going to wreck yourself. So that's why I told people, they say if the price goes up, it will always goes up. Not really for Bitcoin. What goes up will come down. What comes down will goes up, because they are always looking for liquidity. Let's look at 1 week. What happened in Binance? Look at it. Can you see that? We got a lot of liquidity building up at the bottom here. Okay, at the bottom here. So high likely, right? We could see some major, okay, dump could take place. Please understand, because the institution will never allow price to go up immediately up. No, because institution wants to buy at a cheaper price. They don't want to buy at 100,000. They want to buy at 80,000. 70,000. Okay, so please understand the psychology. Okay, this is how the psychology of trading is. Okay, great. Let me see if there's any questions, and then we can end today's technical this AMA session. Now, USDT and USDT are stable coins, and the price rarely change much. Oh, I don't think so. All right, I don't think so. Okay, because I think the wrong perception here is that yes, it is stable coin, but I think the key things you should look for is the liquidity. Okay, it's not about stable coin, because if you look, I think at the moment USDC liquidity is much compared to USDT. Okay, USDC liquidity. Okay, so just take note. Okay, that's why you see, right? Sometimes I think last month our biggest profit come from USDC. This month our biggest profit so far is USDT. So every day, every week, every month, right? The liquidity actually changes. So if you have more profit from USDC, means you got more entry, right? More entry, more cycle. Okay, because you see, futures trading is all about volatility. So the more liquidity, the more volatility. You see that? So people mistaken stable coin for liquidity. Actually, stable coin, what I think you are trying to say is that you can use stable coin to swap because it is stable. It's 1-to-1 with US dollar. Am I right? But when it comes to liquidity, it's different. Okay, because Tether USDT is a Tether company. They are actually outside of US. Circle is basically a US-based company. Okay, so if people don't want to be under radar, they don't want to use USDT, so they will use USDC, because USDC there is more legality in terms of regulatory and transparency compared to USDT. But in terms of the trading volume, USDT is about 80% of the trading volume. Okay, so just take note of that. And then sometimes, like Bitcoin, I think we got the lesser, right? Because when price goes down, your income from Bitcoin is small. It's small because you are referring to the income based on BTC, not USDT, right? But if you hold your income, if you hold your BTC, when the price coming down, you are actually earning more BTC. So that's why we offer you 3 separate strategy, because the liquidity. All right, now the other thing is that BTC, right, is brilliant. BTC, when price comes down, you are making more BTC. So in BTC value, not USDT. But if you hold your BTC and wait for the price to go up, then you swap to USDT. Come on, guys. You're going to make massive amount of US dollar, right? USDT. So that's why don't swap too early. All right. Now, if you look into your app, right? Let me just show you this, right? If you look into your app, right, you can see, right, in your app, you can see in your app, you can go to the trade. You see that? You can go to the trade here, and you see under the tool that is convert, right? You see that? Convert. So you can convert your BTC, okay, BTC to USDT, right? Can you see that? So that's why we actually put the 3 futures trading there. So when you make BTC, when the price goes down, don't immediately convert your BTC. Hold your BTC. Wait for BTC to go up, let's say $10,000 or $5,000, right? Then you go and swap into USDT. Isn't that brilliant, right? Now you will make more in USDT. Can you see? And you can probably fund your account, your sub-accounts, and so on, right? And then you wait for BTC to drop. When BTC goes down and drop, what do? You use your USDT and swap to BTC. So now, can you just imagine, you have just made money with JDXBOT, and you do another profit from swapping. Isn't that brilliant, right? So that's why BitGet platform, BitGet infrastructure, right, is awesome, because you can swap it, you can make money. We put your money into Spot Wallet. Why? Because you can immediately swap it, you can transfer, you can withdraw. That's your smartness. Okay, but I'm just giving you some suggestion and ideas here, and I hope that will help you. So some people say, how can I stake Bitcoin? This is how you stake Bitcoin. Use JDXBOT to stake Bitcoin, but don't liquidate your Bitcoin. Hold your Bitcoin and keep swapping until one day you have 1 Bitcoin. Imagine if that one day 1 Bitcoin is 200,000. Come on, guys. I have made many of you millionaires, right? Can you see that? So don't just think about JDXBOT bot. Think beyond than that. How you can leverage the platform, BitGet platform, the conversion. That's why in the future, JDXBOT, you will have auto swapping and auto DCA. We will do that so that you instead of you doing a manual swapping, JDXBOT will do an auto swapping for you. Isn't that brilliant, right? So that is what our plan is. So we settle JDXBOT. Next, we got swapping bot, and we got DCA bot. Will that be awesome? All right, that will be awesome, right? Okay, great. Now I think this is awesome. I think we have taken about 2 hours. I hope you guys are learning a lot here. Any questions that you have, that you want to ask, that you want to clarify before we end this meeting today? Okay, please let me know. Yes, Obong, please unmute yourself. Yes, unmute yourself.
Okay, okay, doctor, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, evening, and morning, wherever we are in the world. Yeah. So, doctor, thank you very much on this. There's something I want, I told you last time, not the last Zoom meeting, but I still want you to, after the swapping board, I still want you to put that in your radar. That is the manual trading training and mentorship that you did. You gave us many years back. I would love you to also consider. Many of my colleagues and friends are really interested in that because the board is doing its job fantastic. But we also need to know, somebody like me, I was a complete novice. I didn't know anything about crypto, but because of you, that I know what I know today. So we still have a couple of folks who wants to be part and parcel of that your training. That's one. Then two, God bless you for this JDXBOT. And for me, you know, I've been saying it, I'm the happiest person on this JDXBOT. And most importantly, you making sure that our capital is intact, that we don't lose our capital, because that's the highest priority that you have. So for me, I really appreciate that, because if our capital is in place, then at least we continue to be in business. But if we lose our capital, then out of greed, then it becomes a different ballgame. So I really appreciate what you are doing, empowering ordinary people to generate the extraordinary income. So thank you very much. God bless you and your family. We really appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. I really appreciate, you know, those compliments. We truly appreciate that. And also, you know, we truly appreciate the continuous encouragement, okay? So that's the reason why I think one of the key things, right, capital preservation is key. That's why you can see that, right, when the market is moving sideways, right, I try to educate our team and tell them that it's moving in a tight range, so you don't expect the bot to keep adding order. That is greed. You see that? So the problem is that, you see, the reason why you need a bot so that you have no emotion. This is the problem with human. That's why if a human is trading, they are driven by emotion. And then they deplete all their fund. And then when the market go against them, they get liquidated. But the bot has no emotion. It follows the algorithm. You see that? So that's why it's good to just let the bot to do what the bot's supposed to do, rather than some people even send me message, doctor, it's been floating for 10 days, 12 days. Is the bot really working? Come on, guys. You can see I show you the DCAs, the number of DCAs and the number of hedging. It works. But when the market is not working, how do you expect the bot to work? Okay, even if you are a trader like me, if there is an inactivity, I will never trade. I have to wait for the breakout or breakdown, right? So please understand that, okay? These are problems with traders, because traders are impatient. They're impatient. They think that tomorrow they will become a multi-millionaire. It took me years to be a millionaire and multi-millionaire with crypto. You see that? But they want to become a millionaire tomorrow because they now got JDXBOT. Not really, guys. You see, first, you become a multi-millionaire in your mind. That's why I'm doing the AMA, because I am educating you. If you knows well what we are doing and you expect, you now know what to expect. You are now educating your mind. Now you know what to do, right? If you top up your sub account, your bot will be staying longer than anybody else. You see that? Because we never say that you won't get liquidated, right? We never say that. But we do our best to preserve the capital, and now we educate you. So it's a shared responsibility between the user and JDXBOT. And we always been maintaining this shared responsibility. Okay. So when if your available balance hit the critical level, you must take action. Don't say, I don't want to take action. Now, so that's why we now change from 40%, we put 50%, so that earlier you get the critical alert in case, okay? Because I know some users, they leave the bot. They don't even monitor for 1 or 2 weeks. All right. So if you receive an alert, I think you need to respond, because if you don't respond, next you will receive a margin call from BitGet. BitGet will send you an email telling you, because that is no more from JDXBOT. Okay, that is already considered you are at the critical level. If you don't respond, normally BitGet will liquidate you. So that's why we don't allow BitGet to send you any email, because our bot actually filters everything first already. All right, so that's why at 50% we send, but you still have another 50% fund there to sustain you. And if your fund is depleted and your liquidation is hit, then you get liquidated. BitGet will send you a congratulations, you get liquidated. Okay, for them it's congratulations because they just made money from you. For you, it's a nightmare. You understand me? For you, it's a nightmare. Can you understand me? Because please understand, guys, honestly, all right, I think those of you who has been with us since the pre-launch, we don't have any bot actually got liquidated from JDXBOT management unless they manually manage. So BitGert actually made less money from JDXBOT. You see that? And please understand, JDX, you see, like 12 days, right? We are floating. Do we make money? No, because we also are in your situation. We share your your pain. We also don't make money because when your bot close, only we make the money because we are sharing 70-30. Can you understand me? So now, if I am greedy as an owner of JDXBOT, I would do the DCA quickly so that I also can make money. But how if everyone lost? You understand me? So if I don't have the patience, and if my intention is wrong, every one of us is gone, guys, and I just close everything and walk away. Isn't that what most of platforms did? You know, and we don't want to be named among those unrighteous, unrighteous, evil generation. Okay, we don't want to be part of that. Okay, so we do our best by God's grace because for me, I want to honor God's people. All right, every one of us are created by God. Every one of us are God's people. It doesn't matter who you are, what's your race, what's your color, that is immaterial. But we must honor every single people, as though they are, because they were created by God. So if you honor them, God will honor you. Okay, that is the problem, right? Because that's why you can always see me, right? I sign off my message, thank you for your honorable partnership. Because it's difficult to find honorable people who are honorable to a relationship. Okay? They only use you, but they don't empower you, they don't build you, they don't encourage you. That's why, we are grateful to God and we are grateful to you guys. Whenever you compliment us, whenever you encourage us, whenever you support us, we really value, because that is the most difficult thing human being wants to give, right? That's the most difficult thing. They don't like to praise you. They don't like to encourage you. But when there is a problem, they will blame you first, right? And we don't want that to happen, guys. All right, so that's why we value, okay? We value your friendship, your alliances, your partnership, and so on. Okay, now, I think let me take one questions. Yes, Haruna, please go ahead.
Well done. Well done, sir.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Thank you so much.
You are hearing me, sir.
I'm waiting for you to migrate.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm preparing to that. I want to appreciate you for having you as a mentor. Really, Obon has said that is the happiest somebody. I know. I'm thinking maybe I'm the happiest somebody to meet someone like you.
Amen.
You have groomed us, you have brought us up. In fact, for me, from the scratch level, I don't understand what is crypto before. I don't know how to trade before. I don't know, although I didn't start with you, but where I joined you, I can say I really appreciate the way you express your thing. I really appreciate the way you brought us up. Somebody was telling me, one of my friends was telling me that you are really a good man. I said, yes, you have to listen to his presentation. On whole, the crypto platform that have been attending. Some of them have been failing him, and he say he want to join me. I say, yes, you are welcome. You join me, and when the times come, you join me. We will join together. So Obon says the happiest somebody. No, I am the happiest somebody. So I really say I'm very happy with my family, and God will bless you, and God will bless you for us. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, Aruna, thank you so much. Truly appreciate that compliment and the continuous encouragement that you guys are giving to us. We are where we are. I think I would have given up, much earlier throughout the 2 years when we started the beta testing. But nevertheless, you guys have been a great, instrument to continuously encourage us. And we have taken that as a challenge to make it happen. Now I think we are just, have to continuously improve and make these things perfect it day by day and make it better and better. Okay. So I believe, one day the bot will be just working by itself, and everyone from any part of the world, can be blessed, right? That is massive. Okay. If we can change people's life financially, you can change everything about their life. A $10 extra a day is a $300 a month, right? That can change people's life. It's especially in some of these third world country or the African continents, even in Oceania, things can change, guys. Don't ever underestimate even a dollar profit, because that is $30 a month. And that $30 is a huge money in some of those countries. All right. So that's why we don't know how JDXBOT can become a blessing, but by God's grace and the mandate that God has given to us, I believe, all right? I believe. Because do you know, guys, a lot of these strategies are basically, are wisdom that come from above. So when I pray, I ask God to give me wisdom. I ask the Holy Spirit to speak to me. What needs to be done? So these are insight that was tapped from heaven. You see that? That's why you don't find what we are doing outside there. We don't even actually copy what other people are doing. No, I don't want to. Okay, so what we have is a sole proprietary, it's original, okay, and it is birthed out of prayer. Some of these things you have to connect to heaven. You need to hear God's voice, okay, because this kind of what we are doing, right? As I always tell my team, empowering ordinary people to generate extraordinary income. And when you empower people financially, it's a war. The devil will try to fail you what you are doing. The devil will attack you left and right. Because if you are trying to change people financially, it's a war. Okay, so please understand that. So financial breakthrough. That's why if one person in the family break through financially, the whole family change. And the devil will do everything to kill that one person. You see that? If you can change that one person's mind to think like a millionaire, that one person can bring breakthrough to the whole family and his generation. And I'm the testament, because of me breaking the curse of poverty, today my children don't face it anymore. You know that? My children don't know what is financial trouble. They don't know, because we have cut off the financial difficulties from their life. So only one person, that can be you today, right? That can be you who are listening to me or listening to this recorded video. That can be that one person. If you take the challenge and if you find the right connection, that's the most important. Find the right connection, stay honorable. That's the most important, right? The problem with people is that they are dishonorable. You see that? They use them, they cheat them, they steal from them, and so on, right? We don't want to be named among those generation. Please understand me, okay? So, be righteous, be clean, all right? Be clean, okay? Be righteous, be pure. These are important. Be holy, think the right thing, all right? Always think how you can. So that's why I love this community, because I thank God that, you guys continuously think the right thing, encouraging us, giving us the right, the right compliments. And so I think that's a really, really important. And I really want to appreciate those of you who are sharing JDXBOT, to that, because you don't know, right? You don't know, guys, this income that is coming in is helping us to continuously improve the bot. All right, because we don't look for investors. So a lot of these are my own money, and now with the income we are generating, we can now work on the third phase. All right, we can work on the third phase. We can make this technology much, much better. And also with the money that we are making, right? As Obong say, right? We can start to now work on the new product. That's why the money that we are making will determine the timing, when is the right time to invest into the new product. So we can work on the the JD swap, we can work on the JD bot and so on. It's all depend, because we don't go look for investors to come, because then you have liability. You now have to perform to the investors or to the venture capitalists. We don't want to do that, because I believe our own community can empower JD Wealth Maker, with enough finance for us to do all these things. So you can see, when you empower us, we can now empower the community back, right? So that is how it works, right? It's always a win-win. So somebody has to empower us so that we can then. So you empower one company, JDXBOT, one company, JD Wealth Maker, one brand, JDXBOT. But that one brand can empower millions of people later on. Can you get me now? So that is what we want to do. So if you find the right connection, stay honorable, continue to empower us, because through us being empowered, we can start to empower thousands and millions of people. Okay, so that's why if you are introducing to someone, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I don't force anyone, because we are not an MLM company. We don't depend on those referrals, because you can see our subscription is very cheap, the cheapest subscription ever, right? So, but you can have as much as you're trading fund in your main account and make as much money. Okay, some of our users, some of our partners are making more money than the company actually, because some of them have $10,000, $20,000 tradings and so on. So we don't stop you, all right? You can make as much money you want and empower your people, your community, your family. Okay, so do that. So guys, I want to say thank you so much. Appreciate your time. So look forward for next 2 weeks. Okay, so every 2 weeks we will have the AMA session, and I will try to bring other topics, other new insights and so on. And I look forward for your weekly every Tuesday. All right, it's the corporate presentation. So if you have somebody new, they want to listen to the presentation, bring them over. All right, the way we do things are simple. We keep things simple. We keep things straightforward, so that we don't hype things around. Okay, so this is what it is. There's nothing much to hype around, and when you use it, you know exactly how it works. And now with today's knowledge and insight, I think you will become much better, and you are now able to expect, right? That's really great. So I want to say thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you. Okay, each and every one of you. My prayers always goes out to JD Wealth Maker community, asking God to protect your capital and so on, because sometimes, right, we don't know how the market will move. Okay, so do take care. Okay, God bless each and every one of you. This recorded video will be uploaded in the group. Okay, and then you can share it with people, but it will be private. Okay, it won't be public. So take advantage of all this information. That's why always remember, freely receive, freely give. Okay, these are all the incentive, all the bonuses you have because you are part of JD Wealth Maker. Imagine $250 and you are getting this kind of information, right? You won't get it anywhere else. Okay, so but anyhow, maximize it, guys. Don't waste this information. Maximize it. Use it to your own advantage. And the best thing that you can do is empower others. As freely you receive, freely give it. Okay, don't try to take advantage of anyone. Okay, so with that, I would like to say thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you. I look forward to see you next week during the corporate presentation. Take care, guys. Let me unmute you guys. If you want to say goodbye, you can say goodbye. Okay, you are unmuted, guys.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care. God bless you. Bye bye.
Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Bye.